Welcome back. This is the new SEC podcast. I'm Hunter Ziesman, and we're doing a little something special today, talking about the Thorpe Award. We're close to the end of the college football season, and the end of season awards are coming up, and the Thorpe Award is the one that's given to the best defensive back in the country. Interestingly, this year's 3 finalists, 2 are from the SEC. There's 1 former SEC player in Caleb Downs. So looking at the candidates, the finalists that we have this year, we got Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia. We got Caleb Downs, safety from Ohio State, and then we have Jahdae Barron, the cornerback from Texas. So really, the SEC hasn't won this award in a few years. Since 2019, there was a 3-year run with Minkah Fitzpatrick, DeAndre Baker, and Grant Delpit from LSU winning there in 2019. And then since, TCU's had a couple. I think Air Force won last year. So in this one, Georgia's looking to claim their second Thorpe Award, and this would be the third for Texas and Ohio State. There's already been some controversy about it. We've heard Deion Sanders' opinions on Travis Hunter being snubbed from this list. Personally, at this point, I think it's Jahdae Barron's award to lose, or the season's over. I think it's his award, no doubt. But I do want to say, I think that Travis Hunter should probably be here. Cornerback really is the guy who has the least amount of stats, a good corner, because you're not getting thrown at often. I think that Travis Hunter is one of those guys. He's only been targeted 38 times on the season, given up only 1 touchdown, 205 yards, 4 picks. He's really brought a lot to this team and locking off a full side of the field. I don't think that the full argument around him playing both sides of the ball should be factored into this, because it is just around being a defensive back. I do think he should be there. I think that he has a better claim to it than probably Starks and Caleb Downs. But, we got who we got. I think going forward, it would be cool if there was an award that was cornerback only, safety only, because it's a little bit apples to oranges to compare the two, because you got Caleb Downs and Malachi Starks, who are so much more known for the run defense, what they provide from, play stopping ability. But then you have lockdown corners, and it's tough to compare the two sometimes. So for what it's worth, I do think Travis Hunter should be there. I know there's a lot of differing opinions on him, but we got who we got. And, it's 3 guys who mean a lot to their team, and not that it put them in this position, but to state their impact. All 3 of these teams that are represented here are in the playoffs with Georgia, Texas, and Ohio State. So first off, looking at Malachi Starks, he does play safety. He drops into coverage primarily, but he essentially gets his nod here as an open field tackler. He's huge in the run game for Georgia's defense. He leads the team in tackles, 48 tackles, 25 assisted. He's given 463 yards in coverage with a couple touchdowns. He does have a pick on the year. But like I mentioned, him and Caleb Downs are more of the field commanding playmakers on defense that aren't really summed up by stats, but more about how they orchestrate the defense, avoid giving up big plays as much as they can. Georgia's defense has been pretty powerful this year, keeping them in games. We've seen the offense struggle at times, and the defense be able to step in. It's flip-flopped a little bit here and there. Georgia Tech game, for example, where the offense kind of came to the table to play, and the defense had given up a few big plays to Haynes King there at Georgia Tech. So, either way, Malachi Starks does bring a lot to this team. Another safety in the conversation as a finalist is Caleb Downs, the Alabama transfer to Ohio State. 33 tackles on the year, 28 assisted with a pick. He's been great in coverage, great in run support. We've seen him do a little bit of punt returning with a punt touchdown this year. He's the Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year. The other 2 guys being in the SEC, I'm not sure how much weight that award holds, but he helps lead this Ohio State defensive unit. And, they're number 1 in the country in total defense, number 1 in red zone touchdown percentage given up, with I think it's right around 35% given up for a touchdown. They're the number 1 scoring defense. Really, overall, Ohio State's just been pretty locked down defensively this year. 2 losses, 1 to Oregon, 1 to Michigan. A big highlight for Caleb Downs this year was the Nebraska game. It was a home game. It was finally, the final was a 4-point difference that Ohio State took home. But, what a big saving play for him in this game was in the third quarter. Nebraska almost broke free a touchdown. Dante Dowdle almost got free. Caleb Downs made a pretty crazy tackle there right at the end, shoestring tackle to stop that touchdown. That would have been a huge game changer. It just speaks to what he does on the field and being able to help this defense, wherever they need him, being a plug and play type of player. He had a sack in that game as well. So, those 2 guys are a little bit more jack of all trade playing around the field. One guy who's a specialist, the best at his position, is Jahdae Barron, cornerback for Texas. He's the number 1 graded cornerback via PFF. for the regular season. He dropped a little bit with the conference championship games. I think he's sitting about third graded, tied with Travis Hunter there, but 5 picks, 52 targets. He hasn't given up a touchdown all season. Only 1 penalty to his name so far. He's pretty much locked up every receiver, only giving up about 15 yards per game. It's been a crazy year for him. He's done really everything that he needs to do to make this Texas defense what it is. They are the number 1 passing defense in college football. They only give up around 143 yards per game. So you're not going to have much luck passing on these guys, and it's because of what Jahdae Barron brings to the table from the cornerback position. Looking at some of the specific games, although his team lost, looking at the Georgia games, he had 3 picks in the 2 games, 1 off of Gunnar Stockton and 2 off of Carson Beck in the first matchup. But a big play was that pick in the SEC championship game, even though they lost. If there was a better block in front of him, that probably would have been taken to the house. These are 3 guys really that I could say all are deserving of the recognition and acknowledgement. My outlook on the award is that Jahdae Barron's the clear winner. All 3 playoff defenses. I think when you are the number 1 at your position, you've locked up everybody. You can't score. You can't score on Jahdae Barron. It's his award. In my mind, I'd love to hear what anyone thinks in the comments. If you think someone else will win, the awards will be given out December 12th. They'll be announced. I think they're going to be given out over the weekend. So curious who you think should take it. Is it Jahdae Barron? Is it Malachi Starks? Is it Caleb Downs? Is it someone else? Should Travis Hunter even be at the awards? Is that, do you agree with Deion Sanders that he's being snubbed here? Let us know. We're going to talk about a couple more awards probably before they happen and then break down some of the awards after. But let me know in the comments what you think. And this is the new SEC podcast. Until next time.